There is this 30-year-old young woman, and she came in with saying that she'd had a breakup and was not being able to deal with it. Sleepless nights, not being able to focus on her work, concentration, all those things, and wanted to know how to go about it, how to handle it. Young people who've been in a relationship for anything from 2 years to 4 years and more, and who have now broken up with that person and are not being able to deal with it. Common issues that they come up with is, I can't sleep, I don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning, I don't want to get to work, I just have no interest in anything, there is just no one I can talk to. The person who was everything for me in life is just not there anymore. I am lost, I don't know what to do. So they feel helpless at that point when they come to me. There are a lot of things to a breakup. The fact is that I think this is a phase in your life where one is looking at a romantic relationship and is getting involved in a person who would supposedly be your partner for life. What happens is one invests a lot of your energy in that relationship. At that point, unless it's right from the beginning where you make it very clear that we are like, we're only here for a short time, there is no long-term benefits out of this, we're only here for short-term benefits, friends with benefits or whatever you want to call it. But if you're there and if you're in it seriously, when you're involved with that person, when you are thinking of that person more often, when you want to spend time with that person all the time, and even when you're at work, you're thinking about that person all the time, or that person basically takes up a major part of your day, whatever, whether you're talking, you're texting, you're thinking, whichever way. In that case, when the person breaks up, there is a sense of loss. There is grieving that happens. It is almost like a bereavement. You could go through the entire stages of grief. You could have anger, you could go into the why me phase, the poor me phase. There would be sadness, there would be a terrible sense of loss. And depending on how the breakup has happened, if the other person has said no, there could even be rejection. What happens is a lot of time people come up and say, he or she left me, I don't think I'm good enough, I lose my self-confidence, I don't perform at work. So it just becomes like a negative spiral downwards just because your relationship didn't work out. Your relationship is one part of you. There is just so much more to you also. Can you go back and think of the things that you were doing before you were in that relationship or the early stages of that relationship? I'm sure you had other friends, which is why I say it's very important to have a support system, friends, colleagues, families, neighbors, whatever works for you. It's important to, go back and do something that keeps you mentally and physically occupied. It's a known fact, whether you go for a run or an exercise or gym or swim or aerobics or whatever, you release the happy hormones or the endorphins, it makes you feel good. At least for that period, you're not moping and feeling miserable about it. And having done something that makes you feel good physically, makes you feel good mentally too. So that whole feeling of, I am lost, I'm not worthy, I've lost my self-confidence, slowly comes back. It is difficult, but it's not impossible. People have different ways of coping. I was talking with some clients and some of them say they like to Google all kinds of things. This is the internet thing, but I personally would say don't believe everything that's on the net. Because every human being is different. You come with different backgrounds, with different experiences, different education, different personality types. So what works for one doesn't work for everyone. So try out. But try and mix around, meet more people, and go back to doing some things you liked and enjoy, however difficult it may be at that point. You can come out of it. It's tough, but doable.